Gina Carano is punching back against Rachel Zegler. Let's get into this here. Zegler has found herself under the gun for her comments about the upcoming Snow White film, specifically describing the prince as a stalker and noting how the upcoming live-action adaptation is not about a love story. Comments she made in September of last year at the D23 Expo to a number of media outlets, including Variety, Extra TV, and Entertainment Weekly. In an apparent reaction to the tens of thousands of people that have been criticizing her for those comments, Zegler wrote on Twitter, "I hope the world becomes kinder." Well, Gina Carano shared a reaction to that comment with a GIF from Schitt's Creek with one of the actresses tapping her screen and the word "boop" popping up there. You can see a still of that GIF. And if you don't know what that means, it's a reference to Carano putting beep bop boop in her Twitter biography as she was being harassed by so-called transgender activists to put pronouns in her Twitter bio back in 2020. Furthermore, YouTuber Drunk3PO, with the assistance of Twitter user Data Racer, recalled that Carano's reaction is more than likely a response to Zegler engaging in a hate campaign against her. Shout out to Drunk3PO. He did an excellent video on this already, but I thought this was necessary that we should do a video as well, so that's what I'm doing. So as Drunk3PO notes, at the height of the so-called transgender activists attacking Carano, Zegler tweeted out, "Do not make fun of pronouns." She added, "They are not a joke. Pronouns are validating. Pronouns are cool. Put your pronouns in your bio. I wear my pronouns on a button. Sometimes it's a good thing. Bye." She then added, "It's a fun time to remind you all to love Pedro Pascal," making it clear she was referring to Gina Carano not putting her pronouns in her bio and instead doing beep bop boop. She did not cave to the transgender activists. Zegler would then share a photo of the button with the words "she" and "her" on it, confirming that she does wear her pronouns on a button sometimes. Absolutely insufferable. Zegler's comments came the same day that Carano explained that the woke world was mad at her because I won't put pronouns in my bio to show my support for trans lives. After months of harassing me in every way, I decided to put 3 very controversial words in my bio. Beep, bop, boop. I'm not against trans lives at all. They need to find less abusive representation. I'll disagree with Gina Carano on that. I am against the so-called transgender movement and this idea of trans lives. I do not think that a man can become a woman, and I do not think a woman can become a man. It is not physically possible. That being said, there is such thing as gender dysphoria. It is a mental illness, and those people should get help, but it's not to the extent that we are seeing in our culture, which is clearly being pushed. It's a social agenda being pushed in order to manipulate people so that not only do they mutilate and butcher themselves, destroy themselves, a lot of them kill themselves, but it's also to make them more easily manipulable and controllable by the powers that be. So also, as Junk 3PO notes, that Zegler reacted to, so then he then notes that Rachel Zegler actually blocked Gina Carano after this, and you can kind of see here that she did indeed do that, because you see if he says you're unable to view this tweet because this account owner limits who can view their tweets. That's because Rachel Zegler blocked Gina Carano after this, and I think Drunk 3PO does a good job pointing this out after she said, "Hey, let's make the world a kinder place." Gina Carano gives like the little boop message, the little boop gif, instead of Rachel Zegler saying, "Oh, maybe I'm at fault. Maybe I might be the problem." Maybe saying, "Hey, Gina, sorry for what I did to you. I was wrong on that." Like maybe doing some kind of introspection. She blocks Gina Carano. She doesn't want to hear it because Rachel Zegler doesn't think she's done anything wrong. She thinks she's all in on the identity stuff. I mean, she literally has a button with her pronouns on it that she like is promoting here on Twitter back in 2020. She's all about this. She promotes bodily mutilation. We've got a story on that on the website if you want to look at that. I mean, she totally does not think she's doing anything wrong. She thinks she's totally in the right. Her morality is completely warped. She doesn't have any integrity, and she's not going to change. She's not going to change because she thinks that she's in the right, and she's going to do things out of spite now and stick it to it. Fortunately for her, the SAG-AFTRA is not letting her comment on a lot of this stuff. Otherwise, I think she would be out there probably even worse than Brie Larson, and there would be people would just be absolutely taking her to the woodshed even more than they are now. But I do think this is just kind of another evidence, another data point of who Rachel Zegler is, and that she's not changing, and she doesn't have any will to change whatsoever at this point. And it's really sad, and I feel bad for her. I pity her. And we should probably pray for her that maybe her heart does get softened. She does have some introspection. She realizes what she's done is wrong and hopefully changes. But I just don't see that happening. None of her behavior seems to indicate that she has any kind of willingness to change or look into her own life and see maybe that her decisions that she's made have been absolutely wrong and recognize that. But who knows? Maybe she will. But just wanted to let you guys know on what's going on, and Gina Carano is not sitting around and taking it from Gina Carano, or she's not taking it from Rachel Zegler. She's punching back.
Subscribe for more.